busy. Oh, it's a bit bonuses. Holy shit. Oh my god. Punchy that?
What the f***?
Used to be a day of pure joy, a celebration years in the making. The streets of Liverpool were awash in red, with nearly 1 million fans pouring into the city centre to honor their team's latest Premier League triumph. Chants filled the air, kids waved flags from shoulders, and fireworks cracked in the sky above Dale Street. It was everything Liverpool fans had waited for, a moment of unity, pride, and passion. But that celebration turned into chaos just after 7 p.m. Eyewitnesses describe a scene of confusion and horror as a dark-colored sedan drove directly into crowds of people. Not slowly, not by mistake. According to multiple reports and circulating footage, the car swerved intentionally, adjusting its course toward fans as they scrambled to get out of its path. The impact was immediate. Screams cut through the chants. Bottles and flares hit the pavement. People ran in every direction. And amidst it all, a vehicle continued forward, crashing through what had just minutes earlier been a sea of singing, joyful supporters. Emergency services responded swiftly. Within minutes, multiple St. John's ambulances, NHS paramedics, police units, and fire engines were on the scene. A cordon was quickly established along Dale Street. The crowd was pushed back. Businesses in the area began to shut their doors. Some pubs continued to pulse with music and celebration. Many patrons, still unaware of what had just happened, just yards away. One man has been detained in connection with the incident. Details remain scarce, but police have confirmed the arrest. An investigation is now underway. What's most disturbing, according to those who've seen the footage, is how the vehicle appears to have actively pursued moving groups of people. As the crowd parted and tried to flee, the car redirected. Witnesses report it almost seemed to hunt them. At least one video shows fans bravely trying to stop the car, banging on its windows, attempting to open the doors, even trying to pull the driver out as chaos unfolded around them. For those who were there, the images are haunting. A father who had taken his young daughter to the parade earlier in the day expressed relief that they had left before the incident. She had become tired, so they decided to head home early. That decision may have saved their lives. Others weren't as lucky. Reports indicate multiple injuries, though the extent remains unclear. For now, the city waits, hoping that the night doesn't bring worse news. This all took place near one of Liverpool's most iconic stretches, Dale Street, nestled between the docks and the famous Cavern Quarter. It's a space steeped in culture and history. Tourists wander its sidewalks daily. On this particular day, it was filled not just with local supporters, but with families, travelers, and football lovers from around the country and even abroad. As news spread, the mood shifted sharply. The city, usually so close-knit and full of camaraderie during moments like this, grew tense. Some tried to continue the celebrations, but word traveled fast, and with each phone call, each update, each tweet, the air grew heavier. Authorities acted quickly. Police cleared out pubs and began to push the crowd back, fearing the possibility of a secondary incident. In situations like these, the priority becomes safety, especially with such a dense concentration of people in a confined space. The threat might have passed, but until they knew for certain, they had to assume the worst. There's a bitter irony to it all. For a club and a city that have suffered so much in the past, from Hillsborough to Heysel, safety at mass gatherings is not just a concern. It's a wound. That legacy is never far from the surface, especially on nights like this. What possessed someone to drive a car into a crowd of joyful, unsuspecting people is a question for another time. Motive speculation is pointless now and potentially dangerous. Whether this was an act of personal rage, political malice, mental instability, or something else entirely, it's too soon to say. But the result is the same: fear, injury, and heartbreak. For now, the people of Liverpool are rallying. Those who were nearby are calling loved ones, checking in. There's a renewed sense of protectiveness in the community as word of the incident spreads through neighborhoods, pubs, and online groups. Photos and videos are already flooding social media, some chilling, others heartwarming in how they show strangers helping each other amid the chaos. And yet, just a few blocks away, some fans still try to carry on, drinking, dancing, waving flags. Maybe they haven't heard yet. Maybe they don't believe it. Or maybe they're just trying to hold on to what the day was supposed to be. A celebration, a victory, a shared joy. But the truth is, this night will be remembered for something else now. As police continue their investigation and emergency crews tend to the wounded, the city of Liverpool, resilient, passionate, and proud, begins to grapple with what's just happened. This was a day meant for history. And now, tragically, it will be marked by something much deeper. The hope now is simple, that those who were hurt will recover, that there are no lives lost, that this act, however senseless, however brutal, doesn't define the spirit of this day. Because if there's one thing the people of Liverpool know how to do, it's come together in the face of tragedy. And tonight, once again, they will. Posting tributes, not just to the football victory, but to the injured, to the bystanders who helped, to the emergency responders who ran into the crowd rather than away from it. Hashtags begin to trend, a mix of celebration and concern. One moment, a video of Mohamed Salah holding the trophy. The next, a video of paramedics racing through a crowd on Dale Street. These are the two faces of this day, glory and grief. For those watching from home, the footage feels surreal. A victory parade turned disaster site, something that echoes the tragedy of past sporting events where the line between joy and devastation can be razor thin. Many fans, particularly older ones, can't help but think back to Hillsborough. And while the circumstances are completely different, the ache is familiar. That eerie feeling when a cheer dies out and is replaced by sirens. And yet, within this darkness, there are glimmers of humanity. A teenager seen shielding a child with his own body. A group of fans forming a human wall to stop others from rushing into the danger zone. Pub owners offering water, refuge, and first aid until ambulances can arrive. In moments like these, the heart of Liverpool beats strongest, not in cheers, not in goals, but in how people take care of one another. We're also seeing responses from across the football world. Supporters of rival clubs posting messages of solidarity, former players and pundits tweeting their support for the victims. Even clubs from abroad are acknowledging the incident, showing once again that when tragedy strikes, the football community closes ranks. Meanwhile, speculation continues, but responsibly. News outlets, aware of the sensitivity of the situation, are focusing on facts. A man has been arrested. Multiple people have been injured. No confirmed fatalities at this point. The driver is in custody. Police are investigating the motive. The public is being asked not to share unverified theories or graphic images. What happens next will be critical, not just in terms of justice, but in how the city heals. There will likely be vigils, statements from the club, perhaps even changes in how future celebrations are managed. Today was proof that even a joyous gathering, one carefully planned, can become vulnerable in an instant. But there's one thing that's already clear. This won't break Liverpool. The city has been through too much, overcome too many storms for that to happen now. As the night wears on, the streets begin to clear. The music fades. Flags are lowered. There's an eerie stillness replacing the earlier frenzy. For those still out, their steps are slower now. The adrenaline has worn off. Reality has set in. In homes across the region, parents hold their children a little tighter. Friends check in on each other, making sure everyone got home safe. And throughout it all, a shared hope pulses beneath the shock. That tomorrow brings answers. That those injured tonight will recover. That this tragedy will not be forgotten. Not for the pain it caused, but for how people came together in its wake. Because while today began as a celebration of football, it's ending as something else. A reminder that life can change in an instant, that joy and sorrow are always closer than we think, and that the strength of a city isn't in its trophies, it's in its people. Liverpool will rise again tomorrow, but tonight it mourns, together.